Deputy Pittman, it is about your question to Senator Ian Lamarca, the Home Affairs Minister, the other day. Just want to get on record for the record, to put the record straight. Did it have anything to do with guns or registered gun owners? Did the word gun even appear in your question?
Well, no. I mean, it's quite clear for anyone to see. The word gun was not even in the question. It was about what right did a member of the public have to know if they were living next door to someone who built up an arsenal of weapons and perhaps an incident had taken place, perhaps it was someone who really shouldn't have those weapons. What right did they have to know what sort of risk they were potentially facing? It's got twisted to being about registered gun owners, nothing to do with a gun register. That exists already.
Responsible gun owners, you haven't got any problem with whatsoever?
No problem whatsoever. Indeed, I've gone and shot to raise money for charity myself.
I'm glad we're able to put that straight, because that isn't the message we're getting from the state media, unfortunately. But so you were contacted by Tony. Tony, could you tell us what exactly happened? Why did you contact Deputy Pittman?
I contacted Deputy Pittman for the simple reason it's been 14 months since the incident. The police have dragged it out.
What incident is this? Sorry, Tony.
The incident where this certain chap attacked my wife and I in our home. It was done at night. It was a cowardly attack with catapult steel ball bearings, big steel ball bearings. The police were called, and the man a few hours later walked into the police station, gave himself up. He had an arsenal of weapons on him. He had 2 throwing knives, a katana sword. They went back to his home to get the catapult and bearings, and also found petrol bombs.
Petrol bombs?
Yeah.
Why would somebody be having petrol bombs and this sort of arsenal in there? So you're in fear of this, Nate. Is that fair to say that you're in fear of this chap?
We're in fear of what he can do. He's not a man that will confront you face to face. He'll do it in the dark or well away from you. He won't be face to face.
So getting on to, he handed himself into the police, and so what was the course from there after he got found with all this massive arsenal, including petrol bombs?
The police doctor was called in, and they put him to the hospital APU at St Saviour's. He was there for a number of days, 15, 16 days, and from then he was let out to come back home. Now my argument was, why was he let out to come back home without the police even knowing, and without even informing us, seeing as we lived next door, and what had happened?
So was he taken to court? Were charges pressed against him for the catapult incident and the ball bearings through your windows?
Yes, that came up. It's just finished on January the 28th, 2012. And the incident started in 2011, January the 2nd.
So what are we looking at, about 14 months?
14
then?
months, yeah.
So was he convicted? What was the...
For breaking my windows and trying to harm and kill us, which he admitted to. He got a bound over order for 1 year.
Bound over, and he spent 15 or 16 days in
the APU.
In the APU. Now, what about was that the end of it? You know, where?
No, the 28th of November 2011, he went to court for having offensive weapons in public. The police charged him as soon as he walked into the police station with the weapons. He went to court. It was read out what they had found at his home.
The petrol bombs, the knives.
2 throwing knives, the katana sword, the catapult, the bearings, and a couple of petrol bombs with batteries involved. He pleaded not guilty. I was taken out of court twice by a certain member of the PLA.
What's the PLA? Sorry.
Police Legal Advisors. The person took me out twice, told me I wasn't allowed to listen to anything going on. I said, well, I'm dressed okay, I'm not swearing, you can't throw me out, it's a public gallery. She let me back in the first time. She said, if he pleads not guilty, you have to leave. And I said, why? And she said, you might hear something you're not meant to.
Well, that could be a case that you could be a witness against him, so maybe that's got merit there.
That was it, yeah.
Yeah.
So on the second one I had to leave, the usher took me out.
Okay, so he's got this. He's in front of the beak, as we say, for this arsenal of weapons that's been found by the police, and he's pleaded not guilty.
Quite right, yeah.
And so what happened?
They never heard no more of the case, of that certain case.
So hang on, just let me just get this right for the viewers. You're telling us that the police found this huge arsenal of weapons. Well, you know, an arsenal of weapons. We don't petrol bombs, knives. The police have found them. He's gone in and said they weren't there. And what? The police didn't offer any evidence. Did they? What?
It was read out in court what he had in front of the magistrate. The arsenal of weapons he had.
Yeah.
It was on a charge sheet.
Right.
And I've been back to the police and asked about it, and they said all we've got is the case was dismissed. And I said, how can it be dismissed with all the weapons involved? And the answer was, it's the PLA who have dismissed it.
The police.
Police legal advisors.
Staggering. So obviously life has to go on for you. This guy still is your neighbour, I take it.
The guy's still my neighbour. He's still walking in and out. We don't open the back door without looking over the hedge because we're frightened he's going to pop up again. It's like living.
When you say we, you and
me and my wife.
Oh.
I mean, we're both 60. I'm 64. She's 65. We don't need this.
Are you living in fear of this guy?
Well, yeah. Especially at night time. We don't know what he's going to do at night. He's not that kind of bloke that'll do it in the daytime.
You told me earlier that your daughter won't bring your grandchildren down to your house.
My daughter and my son won't bring the grandchildren down because
the fear of this guy.
Yeah.
Absolutely amazing. So this is what prompted Deputy Pittman's question to the States.
To the States, yeah.
Is it fair to say you've been to every avenue that's open to you in Jersey?
Yes.
And you had nowhere else to go?
No.
Other than Deputy Pittman?
I was just going around in circles and I was getting frustrated, and Deputy Pittman was out in our area, and being a fighter, that was the chat.
And you took on the case. Well, we've seen what happened, but it's been reported guns and everything, but I think it's fair to... Sorry, Tony?
Yeah. No, what he was saying about the guns, there was no guns. It was nothing...
Nothing to do with guns?
It was nothing to do with the people with licensed guns, nothing like that. It was, in case of another offence comes up like this, that the people have the right to know if they live next door of what this person had.
Yeah, not guns, not licensed guns.
No, not guns, not licensed guns. That's nothing to do with it.
I think it's very clear to make that point because it is all over our state media that this is about guns, and it's so important to make that point. So, Deputy Pittman, it looks like Tony has really been let down by everybody, by the police, the judicial system, the media, I would argue. But
well, what concerns me is Tony's been through all the proper avenues. He's been to the police. He's really been, I think, let down by them. In fact, that was acknowledged the other day when I went down to the police station with him. The fact that this has gone on for so long. It's now been confirmed to him that the police are saying all this information did go to the court, so they had it all.
The information as in all the arsenal?
To the petrol bombs, etc., whatever this gentleman had. So we now have to find out what the real grounds were for dismissing this. Because at the end of the day, there's two people being fouled here. There's my constituent and his wife, and there's the person who's caused all this to happen, because it sounds like that gentleman should be getting some help. Yeah. And we don't seem to be getting anywhere. In fact, when I bring it to the States, I'm ridiculed. You heard the minister, I'm exaggerating. Yeah,
well, hopefully now that Tony's been filmed here, you'll see that this isn't an exaggeration. This is a man that's living in real fear. But
well, it's a real proper case, and it's about real people. As Tony said, and I'll stress it again, it's not about someone who's a responsible member of a gun club. Gun registering exists already. What we're saying is if incidents happen as this has happened, then surely a member of the public has the right to know that if they're at risk if someone has got weapons, I mean, why do you need a petrol bomb? We know if you go back in time under Lenny Harper, he raised the issue of someone been found with a rocket launcher.
That's
Why
right.
does anyone need a rocket launcher in Jersey? Why do you need petrol bombs?